Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? Happy Thanksgiving. My turkey, 2 turkeys are in brine. They're ready. They're starting to absorb all these salts and water and everything. I'm going to smoke them tomorrow. So we're gonna talk after that. So good evening, everyone. Good afternoon. Good morning, depending on where you are around the world. My brother's off today. He's the Hebrew channel. He's off today for the evening. So I'm here with you guys on this English live stream. We're on November 26th. And tomorrow there's no trading. Quick reminder that everything and anything that you see here is not financial advice. It's only for your education and entertainment purpose only. And if we want to be entertained, let us look at the S&P 500 and be entertained. A week ago, we were here sobbing, saying the market has ended, the rally has ended, the bull market has ended, the big crash is happening, the bubble is bursting. And here we are today, S&P 500 up 0.9, NASDAQ up 1%, Russell up 1.35, VIX falling to 17, dollar also under 100, 99.5, Bitcoin at 89. Actually, it was 90,000 about 2 hours ago, so it might go back during Thanksgiving. And let's see what's happening with the bond market. Currently, 10-year under 4. That's great. Something very interesting happened, or is happening actually, and will happen tomorrow. Thanksgiving is a day where you analyze how many people talk about Bitcoin. When everyone talks about Bitcoin during Thanksgiving, it's a top. I don't know if there's prediction market on are people going to talk about Bitcoin during Thanksgiving dinner, but I don't think so. You want to see something also very interesting? I just posted it on our on my brother's Hebrew community, not on my community. I don't know. I just speak English. Two other things. One is fear and greed is currently 19. We're still at extreme fear. We are currently 1.3% down from all-time high. But I want to show you something even more crazy. Month to date. Do you remember month to date? Excellent. Month to date. This is how it looks like. Month to date, the Russell is up 0.77, which means we're positive on the month. Dow, it's trying to push it. We'll see. I don't see momentum going into the close, but we'll see. Probably people already closed their shop and went home. S&P, this is from the beginning of November. Only NASDAQ still hit hard. Actually, NASDAQ was down almost 7%. Actually, the Russell was down 7% as well. Look at the recovery for the Russell. That's the IWM. It was minus 7.3% from the beginning of the month. It is now plus 0.76%. Crazy. That is crazy. So this is where we are. And the whole market during the week was focused on one major thing, which is, will Google create the AI, let's say, bait and switch that everyone is talking about? Will Google's TPU replace NVIDIA? If you want to know the companies that are part of the components that Google builds their TPUs is basically their chips to train and to reference the models. So you see here Broadcom, I think was all-time high yesterday, or maybe very close to it. Let's check it out. Broadcom. Here it is. Not a VGO. I'm going to get to it eventually. Yeah, all-time high for Broadcom. Getting very close to the 405. Probably going to get some rejection at the $400 mark. So Broadcom all-time high. So that's one. The other one is Taiwan Semi. Kind of playing around. That's TSM. That's the ticker. Playing around, yet gap up today. And if you place these higher lows, you can see that it broke out today. Taiwan Semi. Next is Amcor, AMKR. As you can see, broke out. Actually, AMKR has a very interesting bullish pattern, which might bring it all the way to 42.83. That's AMKR. So the market is pricing in very well all these components. CLS, Celesta, almost all-time high. You can see the trend line. You can see the bullish flag here. You can see the breakout. That's Celesta, CLS. JBL. I was convinced JBL does the speakers, but apparently they changed their form. Out of all the stocks we saw so far, JBL is the only one. Let me increase this so you'll see the ticker and the watermark and everything. JBL is the only one that's providing you a very, very, very interesting entry point. As you can see, it just crossed above the 150-day moving average, and it's above the previous high, which is would happen at the beginning of the year, 174. So this is very interesting. Okay. Next would be Flex, FLEX, FLEX. As you can see, Flex also a very interesting entry point for a company that starts from bottom left to top right, upward momentum, going up. You can see the bullish flag here as well. So Flex, JBL, CLS looking good. Who else do we have here? APH. So as you can see, the market is pricing them very, very well. APH almost all-time high, very close to all-time high. Next would be Light, and that would be the last one. Light, L-I-T-E. All-time high. The market is pricing in things very well. As you can see, Light, for example, is very distant from its 150-day moving average. So this is not a good entry point. Others, at least from my perspective, others, I think very good entry point. Google also celebrated all-time high this week. Now, I'm not sure if we won't hover here a bit, maybe even correct all the way to 271. We'll see. Nvidia, on the flip side, is not seeing any momentum as of yet. Microsoft, we looked at it earlier today, was up 2% for the day. It's still up 2% for the day. It hasn't decided where it's going yet. I believe, at least the way I analyze it, not believe, but analyze, is the following. You see these highs going down, so it's high, going to high, going to high. So this is why we got the rejection here. Once we break out of 494 or 492, I think Microsoft has the potential to go back to all-time high. Currently, it's a bit stuck. Okay? So that's where I see things currently, and I do like the way the market is shaping. I also think that we might see a bit of a correction in the next few days. I don't know when exactly. Tomorrow we don't have any trading. Maybe not Friday either. And I'll tell you why. 1, 2, 3, 4 green candles. Usually we get a correction. We also got a gap up today, so we have a gap to close. And we do see lower volume, but the lower volume usually happens because of Thanksgiving. So I'm not giving the lower volume that much of an emphasis, but we do need to consider it. Ina, thank you very much. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Yes, I'll post more pictures of the turkey. Don't worry. More pictures of the turkey are coming. It has been cleaned. It has been drowned in the brine. It's ready. It will be ready tomorrow morning. What else did we have today? So holiday season supposed to be very strong. This is Adobe's data. They predict a higher high on spending. We have breaking news coming from CNBC. What's the breaking news? Let's hear them out.
CNBC last hour. We now have a statement from the governor of West Virginia, Governor Patrick
There was
Morrison,
shooting outside the White House.
That we can confirm both members of the West Virginia National Guard who were shot earlier today in Washington, D.C., have passed away from their injuries. He goes on to say, these brave West Virginians lost their lives in the service of their country. We are in ongoing contact with federal officials as the investigation continues. What we know of this incident, Mike, is that 2 National Guardsmen were shot just outside of the Farragut West metro station. That's just a couple of blocks from the White House itself. And another individual was shot.
It's not clear, I think, if it's a terrorist attack or domestic yet. I'm not sure.
South of the White House and evac'd at least one of those people from the scene. The D.C. police have said that there is a suspect who is in custody now.
If there's a suspect, then we probably will know. This is a huge tragedy for sure. From one thing to another, let's dive into a few stocks that you guys want me to look into. NIO, N-I-O, results came in today. Yeah, not today, sorry, 2 days ago. The market isn't that excited. It did come down all the way to 150-day moving average. Yet I don't see the excitement here. With a market that's hovering over all-time highs. So you might say this is a bearish to bullish. I get it, by the way. If you try to buy this stock because it's a bearish to bullish, what I would kind of suggest here is wait for the buyers to step in. Look at the amount of sellers in the last few days. Check them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 out of the last 15 days. That's crazy. People are not buying the stock. Eventually, we won't have any more sellers. So there's this very interesting shipping company called Zim, Z-I-M, which I'm following because their CEO, about 2 months ago, wanted to take the company private. Now, he knew why he wanted to take the company private, because the company has cash flow. If you try to kind of evaluate according to the cash flow that they have, it's worth approximately $23 per share altogether. He proposed $20 per share. So once buying it, he could have automatically be profitable on the buyout. I analyzed it earlier today, and I looked into everything around the company. I might share it in the next few days. Very interesting. I'm going to do the same thing on Microsoft because I do think that Microsoft has a very interesting potential that the market is overlooking. So I'm going to talk about that as well. Let's talk about Meta. Few very strong days from the beginning of the week, yet today we see exhaustion. We see exhaustion of buyers and the sellers stepping in. As you can see, at least if it stays above 621, then we're good. Let's look at other stocks. So we have Aviv here that wants to talk about Amazon. Not getting much love. You're right. Amazon is not getting much love. But let's do the following. If you're just analyzing it according to the regular patterns, this is the 150-day moving average. And these are weekly candles. So it's not a weekly 150-day, it's a daily 150-day. I had it switched. There isn't something bearish about this pattern. It's very bullish. It's not bearish. It's just very lazy. It's slowing. It's not that quick. It's slow. It's not jumping around. But once it ignites, it runs. So if you missed at the end of 2020, at the end of 2022 or the beginning of 2023 when it was 81 or 82, you woke up and it was 242. Will it happen again? Will 2026 be the year of Amazon? We don't need to take that decision right now. We need it to stay above 150-day moving average. We need it to break out at least all-time high, which is 258 or even above 242. And then hopefully we will see the run. Currently, not a strong year for Amazon. Year to date, 3%. A lot less than the S&P 500. So, not a good year for Amazon. No real fundamental reason for that. Mainly, I think, because no one considers them in the AI race, and they need to prove otherwise. It's the burden is on them, not on us. I wouldn't put money currently on Amazon. I think it's a waste of time. until we see some kind of movement, some kind of excitement, some kind of appreciation, I wouldn't spend the time. Bar, hey, what do you think about Carvana? You're the best, thank you. CVNA, let's look at Carvana, and I'm going to pause for a second. Let's close the trading day. We'll see Hall Chadwick and Salvation Army. Ringing the bell. Oh, I'm on the wrong camera. Here we go. The Salvation Army and Hal Chadwick ringing the bell and closing. And the market is going to be closed till Friday, and Friday half day till 1 p.m. Remember, I think the bond market is closed on Friday, if I remember correctly. So we ended another green day. I'll come back to Carvana in a second, Bar, don't worry. Let's just close the day. Here we are with the major averages, all of them on the green, with the S&P 500 up 0.68%, NASDAQ up 0.89%, Dow Jones up 0.66%, and the Russell up 0.89%. The volatility index, the VIX crashing to 17.2%. Dollar down 99.5, Bitcoin hovering just under 90,000. I wish it was 90%. And Ethereum finally conquering the 3,000. Oil crude down to 58.5. Let's go back to Carvana. So CVNA Carvana. What do we see about the pattern here? Let's look at the pattern and try to analyze it. We have an upward stock momentum, clear upward. We have lows that are going high, which means these are higher lows. We have higher highs as well, but we are seeing some kind of exhaustion here in the pattern. So the buyers aren't that convinced right now it should go to all-time high. If you're trading above the 150-day moving average, it's fine, it's there. If you want to see some kind of breakout, you can wait a bit. I don't see any problem with Carvana currently. I'm not saying it's the best looking stock. So just to compare, this is what I want to see, right? A breakout. We know why. We know there's a momentum there. Very strong 3 days. Yes, the volume is dropping. And yes, probably it's going to correct a bit. But that's what we want to see. In Carvana, we don't see it yet, but we are encouraged by the fact that it's above 150-day moving average. So that's good. I wouldn't sell it here. Would I buy it here? Not so sure, but I would wait. I want to see the breakout. Okay, that's what I like. What about Uber? Okay, let's talk about Uber. Uber is very interesting. There was news earlier today about Uber and Abu Dhabi. Here you go. Uber's robo-taxi partner, actually WeRide has the robo-taxi and they're doing it on the Uber platform. And they're going driverless in Abu Dhabi Island. Amazing. Amazing. That's one thing. Let's dive into the stock. And is the stock appreciating it? So, check it out. We have a floor at 81.62, as you can see. And it keeps bouncing on it. So, if we are above 81.62, that's amazing. That's amazing. Okay? Now, I see there's a lot of comments around Amazon, so let me clarify something. I'm not against Amazon. I think Amazon needs to get their house in order to break out above 242 and start running. I think they have all the technology that they need. They just need to figure things out. That's it. And it's easier than it thinks. If it didn't have the technology, so let's take Apple, for example, right? Apple has the install base, but doesn't have the technology of the AI in the AI revolution. They will license it. They're not going to develop it, probably. They're going to use Google Gemini or something like that, and that's it. Amazon is not clear what their strategy is, and that's why the stock is here. By the way, it's not crashing. You want to see a crashing stock? Let me show you. So they're not the same vertical. I'm just going to show you how a crashed stock looks like. This is not Amazon. Look, Amazon, MSTR. Okay, this stock crashed. This didn't crash. It just didn't perform. Okay? So yeah, they need to fix kind of internally their strategy behind that. Oklo, on the nuclear side, looks very compelling. Very compelling. Very, very compelling. Today I held myself of buying some Oklo stocks. The FOMO almost creeped in, but I said to myself, I'm not buying before Thanksgiving. That's one. The second thing, I don't see so many buyers. So if there aren't any buyers, then why should I buy? Of course, once I buy, you'll see millions of stocks, of course, for sure. But, you still hear the mail sound. You are correct. During this live stream, guys, you might have heard several email noises, and I'm sorry for that. I forgot to turn it off. I'm sorry. I need to find a better way to turn it off. So today I held myself in buying Oklo stocks. Although, by the way, it met all the criteria of being above 150-day moving average, above 85.35. So it met all the criteria except one. I didn't want to be alone. 6.5 million stocks, that's all. I didn't want to be alone. So that's why I didn't buy it today. But I'm very, very, very interested in what's going on here. That I can tell you. Let's find other interesting stocks that I looked into today. One of them was no other than IREN, IREN. Why did I look at it today? Someone asked me. That's the reason. But why did I like it? Just because we saw this floor here at 39.50, let's say 40, rounded up. As you can see, 4 times held support, and we are above it. Why did I tell the person that asked me to wait a bit? Because there's no buyers in control. And if there's no buyers, why would you buy it? So that's that. Another company, another stock that several people here, both here and in my community, really likes is SoFi. SoFi, as you can see here, it's basically not doing a lot since August. But you want to see why people are excited? I'll show you. Let's turn it to weekly candles and let's go back. SoFi, SPAC from 10 all the way to 28, down to 13.24, down to 4, up to 32, down to test support, this support, and now guess where it stopped? Turn to the left, draw to the right. See this high? This is where we are today. Any good news? This is the weekly candle. These are weekly candles. Any good news, and this stock is running. Potential could bring it all the way to 45, even more, which is, from the current price, 60%. And that's why people love it. But you never fall in love in a stock. You always need to have a stop loss in order to make sure that if your thesis is wrong, you are out. You're not staying. It's like a falling plane and you're the only one that has a parachute. And you're like, should I open the parachute and jump or not? Or should I crash with the plane? I'm like, it's not even a question. You're the only one on the plane anyway. Alone. With a parachute. A scenario that it happens to everyone every day. Right? You're in a plane. You're all alone. Flying a plane, you're all alone. Then there's an accident. The plane starts crashing down. You have a parachute. But you're like, no, I think I'm going to crash with a plane. Said no one ever. So always have your stop loss in order, or at least know when you want to check out or when you want to sell. Can you check Shark Ninja? Yes, of course. SN. A stock that after its IPO went ballistic. This is their IPO. And I was like, why would someone buy Shark Ninja? It's like, why? Then it went up all the way from 30 to 123, crashed to 60, up to 128, crashed to 86, and this is where it is right now. So we're on the daily candles. Let's move these a bit. We don't need them right now. It's under the 150-day moving average. It bounced on a 61.8 correction on a Fibonacci retracement. It's okay. I would wait to see it above 150-day moving average. You want to see the momentum changing. You want to see kind of the price changing. And let's talk about BITF, Ariel Ophel, maybe? I don't know. Interesting name. BITF. Let's look it up. This is a very, very interesting chart. Let's talk about it. So, stock goes up from 123 to 6.6, drops all the way to 2.38, which is basically giving back 78% of the run. Why doesn't it look like 78%? Because you need to be in logarithmic scale, and here you can see it. 78% of the run. And now it's recovering. If you're not in it, I wouldn't step in. If you are in it, that's amazing. I would wait till it breaks out of 3.28 and then runs to 3.92. Excellent recovery, but it's just the beginning. Now, why do I say it's just the beginning? Let's move these to 65-minute candles just to have more candles in the wind. 660, 455, 295. Let's connect them with the line. Here you go. You can see the highs going down. Excellent. And here we break out. See this? This is where we break out. That's why it's very interesting. So, wait for the breakout 3.28. If it breaks out high volume, I think it might run. So put that on your watch list for the week ahead. APLD, I entered today. I didn't enter today any stock. I said before Thanksgiving, me and my turkeys, we can't look at stocks during the Thanksgiving meal. APLD. So Bar, let's talk about it for a second. I have no idea what the stock is going to do in the next few days. What I am going to tell you is how I see this stock. If I was able to enter, which I didn't, here at 19.3, amazing entry, right? It is 24. I could have made 30%. I didn't, so it's not even a theoretical. Where would I enter? And I'm not saying anything bad about the stock. I think it's playing very well. First of all, I like the recovery, right? I can put a smile here and say, okay, it's turning a corner. But I do see this high on 25.6, and I do see this high on 26.5, which means that I do have some kind of resistance here, which I want to be above. Because if I'm above, look at all these candles. These are all red candles. I'll turn to weekly and you'll see them here. See? These are all red candles, which means that if I break out of this 26.5, I can run. So I personally, I'm not eager to buy any stock. I understand why you bought it, but I think it's a bit early, which you might get a bit of resistance. So just be careful here, okay? You might get a bit of correction. I don't think too much. I think to around 22.5. So just be careful, okay? Zorik, what's up? What do you say about CDE? CDE, let's look at that. CDE. First of all, CDE looks actually pretty darn good. Look at it. Got very close to 150-day moving average, changed direction, started moving. Looks very good. And you see the highs here breaking out. Looks good, CD. Looks good. Very, very encouraging candle with a pickup in volume, which is also very interesting because I don't think the markets today provide a lot of volume. Look at them. The markets didn't provide a lot of volume versus CDE, which did. Very interesting. Very interesting CDE. Zorik, very good stock. Can you please check SBCF? SBCF? I don't even think I've ever looked at it. Seacoast Banking Corporation of Florida? Never analyzed the stock. Let's look at it. Maybe it'll go a bit above 32. Just connect these lines and you'll get the resistance here. I don't think this is such a good stock to play around with. It's okay. Not more than that. CSIQ. I'm at the wrong TV, at the wrong camera, but never mind. Let's enjoy this camera in the meantime. CSIQ. So this is a very small stock, Canadian Solar, went up. Hopefully you didn't buy it at the top, corrected, now running again on lower volume. On lower volume. Just be careful. Okay, on lower volume. But that broke out and it's running very well. What about Tesla? Asked Yochai. Tesla stays above 4139. That's amazing. Stays above this trend line. That's also amazing. 387. That's great. I like the way the chart is basing here in Tesla. But we might see all-time high this year, 2025. Let's see. What do I think about Walmart? WMT. You tell me, what do we see? All-time high for Walmart? No one's talking about Walmart. Walmart broke out here, corrected, then broke out again. Looking very good. There's a $25 upside, so that brings us to 130. It's at 110. There's another $20-ish. Interesting, very interesting pattern. Looks good. Looks very good. And last but not least, UAMY. UAMY. It's waiting. It's waiting for something. Waiting for tonight. I don't know why it's waiting, but it's waiting for something. It's waiting. And last but not least, let's look at ASTS, and that would be the last stock for today. And then we'll look at Walmart's PE for a second. So ASTS was supposed to break out of this trend line, but didn't. Went all the way back. So one thing I wanted us to check, let's move here, is Walmart's WMT PE. Price to earning, next 12 months. It's currently at 38.1. Why is that interesting? You want to know? And even if you don't, I'll tell you. First of all, as you can see, 38 is kind of its PE. You want to compare it to Costco? Let's compare it to Costco. Costco has a 45 PE for next 12 months. This is very interesting. If I would ask 100 people in the street, who is more expensive? Nvidia or Costco or Walmart? What would they say? Probably Nvidia, right? Nvidia is a bubble. It's expensive. No one should buy it. But when you compare the metrics, well, you get a different picture. Nvidia currently is trading at 26 price to earnings. Now look, I have no idea if Nvidia is going to ever go up again or it's the end of Nvidia. I have a feeling. I have my own ideas around it, but I haven't been in the future. What I can tell you is the following. Nvidia currently is one standard deviation below its 5-year average, price to earnings, which means it's one standard deviation cheaper than its average. It's one standard deviation cheaper than its price to sales. It's more than one standard deviation on its EV to EBITDA. And it's lower than its average price to gross profit. It's repurchasing its stock. Its shares are coming down. Revenue per employee is $3.6 million per employee, one of the best in the market. This in Tether, probably. And the price to free cash flow is almost one standard deviation lower than its average. I understand people don't want to buy Nvidia. I get it. I get the bubble concept. I understand that it's very expensive to buy bubble. Let's check Google also. Now let's put in the comparison table. come on, guys, really, Nvidia is so cheap. It's ridiculously cheap. It is. Let's look at Google. Or let's wait. It's also an option. Okay. As you can see, both bubbles are currently underneath both Walmart valuation and Costco valuation. Or forward P. Guys, nothing to say. There's a bubble in the supermarkets. There's another one, a Sprout. What's the name of the Sprout? Sprout. SFM, sorry. Let's put SFM here. SFM. No, okay. You see? This makes sense. Sprouts, this is a supermarket. 15 forward P. That makes sense. Costcart and Walmart. These don't make any sense. They just don't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. This makes sense. This? No. Okay. So there's a bubble and it's in the supermarket area. And you should be careful. A lot of bubbles right now in the supermarket. Now you want to see a very, very cheap stock, like ridiculously cheap, like there's no metric even to test it out. We talked about it earlier. Zim. As you can see, this is actually a drawing of a very young person that's drawing. It doesn't have a next 12 months actually PE, so it's not relevant. It's previous. Let's do the previous PE. Its last 12 months is at 2.4. That makes sense. That I can bring myself. I'm a value investor. I don't buy just stocks because they're cheap. No, I'm a value investor. So, yeah. Interesting. Great, guys. Thank you very much for being here. We are going to talk on... Actually, I want to share with you something very interesting. Let's talk about the channel for a second. So, during the weekend, usually I post here videos of the weekly summaries. This week I decided to do something different. I decided to talk about a more generic or general concept. Why do investors freeze? The biggest stocks are on sale and nobody's buying. The interesting part is, as you can see, usually I get, if I get 1.2 or 1.6K views, I'm like ecstatic. It's amazing. This video got 3K views, which means that in English, you prefer hearing more concepts than the weekly news. I should use ChatGPT to analyze this channel and maybe provide some kind of guidance around it. It's very interesting. 3K views. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, guys, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Enjoy time with your families. We're going to talk again during the weekend. Maybe you know what? I have an idea. How to become a hedge fund. How to analyze like a hedge fund. That's an interesting story. Interesting. Maybe I'll do that. What's Casey? Want to see Casey? You want to learn how to analyze like a hedge fund? Casey. Casey stock. Let's look at Casey stock. Last one. Casey. Looking very good. Almost about to break out, just like Walmart. Casey General Stores. Amazing. Amazing. Looking good. Yeah, you want to analyze like hedge funds? How to analyze like a hedge fund. That sounds like a good video. Hedge fund are losers. That's good. I like it, Ruben. I like your comment. No, but really, how to analyze a company like the pros. That's a concept. Excellent. Talk to you during the weekend. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.